For much of this war, the heaviest Russian attacks on Ukrainian cities and infrastructure have usually come at night. That gave the war a rhythm, the darkness, the sirens, the waiting. Then the work of getting power, transport, and daily life running again. But something else is becoming visible now. I'm Mikael Jansson, and this is as Russia sends very large waves of drones into Ukraine, and does so at times that break the pattern people had learned to expect. This is no longer only about bigger attacks. It is about a changing pattern of war. And once that pattern changes, part of the war changes with it. If you only follow the front line, you miss part of the picture. The front still matters, territory still matters. But that is no longer where all the pressure can be measured. A growing part of it is coming from the air. Reuters reported on March 24th that Russia launched an unusually large daytime drone attack involving more than 550 drones, after overnight attacks involving 392 drones and 34 missiles. Those numbers matter because they show scale. But at this stage of the war, scale is not only about how much is launched. It is also about what that volume forces on the other side. Attacks like this are not only meant to hit targets. They are also meant to keep pressure on the whole Ukrainian system. Air defenses have to stretch further. More units have to stay on alert. More targets have to be prioritized against one another. What gets protected first? What can wait? How quickly can damage be repaired before the next wave comes? That is how an air war changes a country, not only through what is destroyed at the moment of impact, but through the strain it spreads across everything around it. When drone waves grow larger and become less predictable, the pressure does not fall only on the military. It falls on the power grid, on transport, on repair crews, on workshops, on the day-to-day functioning of cities and towns. Energy nodes matter because so much depends on them. Hospitals, railways, water systems, industry, communications. When the grid is damaged, that is not only a technical problem. It becomes a question of endurance. And that means repair capacity becomes part of defense. How quickly can lines be repaired? How quickly can transformers be replaced? How quickly can electricity be restored? In this kind of war, those questions become larger than they may first appear. Reuters had already reported in February on major Russian attacks against Ukraine's energy system, involving hundreds of drones and a large number of missiles. So what is emerging now is not just another escalation. It is a method, high volume, repeated pressure, less predictable timing. There is also a regional layer to this. Reuters reported on March 23rd that President Volodymyr Zelensky, citing Ukrainian military intelligence, said Russia was planning control stations in Belarus for long-range attack drones. That claim has to remain attributed to Ukrainian sources. But if it is correct, it points in the same direction, that the infrastructure behind this air campaign may be expanding, and that the pressure on Ukraine is not only about the number of drones, but about the wider system behind them. None of this makes the front less important. It does not. Territory still matters. Positions still matter. The ground war still matters. But it does tell us something about the shape of this war now. A crucial part of Ukraine's struggle is not only playing out in trenches and contested villages, it is also playing out in the air, in air defense, in the energy system, in repair work, and in a country's ability to keep functioning under repeated attack. That is why it is no longer enough just to watch the map. You also have to look above it. I'd really like to hear what you think. Do you think the next phase in Ukraine will be decided more in the air than at the front? Write in the comments, and tell me what you want me to report on next here on in.